Today, our topic of discussion is photosynthesis. We will be mainly dealing with different aspects of photosynthesis, like how the mechanism of photosynthesis is occurring, how plant is utilizing the energy from the sun and performing different actions, and how different processes of photosynthesis are occurring, what are the different stages, what are the importances, and finally why we are uh, giving so much importance to photosynthesis. So all these topics will be discussed in today's lecture. Okay. Now, first of all, to understand why we are reading the topic of photosynthesis, first of all, you need to know what is the importance of photosynthesis. Okay. Now, to explain the importance, we need to explain how they are related to sun. Okay, that is very important. Now, photosynthesis and sun energy. What happens? See, in the schematic diagram you can see that when light sources is falling on the surface of the plant, oxygen and water is being released to the environment. So up arrow which is moving out to the atmosphere is being given. Another is carbon dioxide intake. Carbon dioxide is entering the plant's body. Then what is this? Carbon dioxide is also going out from the soil surface to the atmosphere. Then oxygen is also entering the soil surface, and also water and nutrients are also entering the plant through its roots. So these are the different movements of different reactants or the important components of photosynthesis as well as the normal environment. In the normal environment, oxygen and nitrogen and your carbon dioxide is present, isn't it? So the main principle is that it uptakes carbon dioxide from outside and also releases oxygen and water. Okay. So now coming to each of the importance of photosynthesis, uh, harness the sun's energy into utilizable form of energy on Earth, a process that most biological organisms are unable to perform. So what happens? This process is mainly responsible for consuming sun's energy and converting them into utilizable form in Earth. Okay. So what happens? These particular biological processes are not being performed by any animal or any non-plant sources. Okay. Here, what is the power being used? ATP is the power used and converts light energy into chemical energy in the form of glucose. Okay. So what happens? Your light energy is coming onto the plant, and what is happening? It is being converted to chemical energy in the form of glucose, because at the end of the photosynthesis you can see that we are getting glucose as the end product. Okay. So then the process of cellular respiration converts energy in glucose to energy in the form of ATP. So in this way, ATP, a source of energy, is being transformed from one of the sources to another. Okay. Now, uh, what is the photosynthesis and carbon dioxide removal? It is one of the most important points while you are studying from for the importance of the photosynthesis. As I have mentioned that carbon dioxide is being taken in and water and oxygen are given out. So an oxygen is the most responsible element for the survival of the whole animal kingdom. Okay. Now, what happens? Carbon dioxide is converted to oxygen, and during photosynthesis, carbon dioxide leaves the atmosphere and enters the plant and leaves as oxygen. Okay, that means carbon dioxide is being consumed by the plant and oxygen is being released from it. Okay, a process which is ecologically and environmentally important. Okay, so this process is also ecologically and environmentally important. So in the schematic diagram, you can see this is the solar energy falling on the surface of the leaf, and from that oxygen is released. Okay, and stem, this is the stem glucose. That means absorption of water and mineral salts. So many minerals and nutrients are being taken up by the plant from the root of the particular plant, and the water is being solar energy is being converted to glucose and oxygen is being released. Okay, so the process is also economically and environmentally important. So photosynthesis and the ecosystem. What happens? The energy produced by photosynthesis forms the basis of virtually all terrestrial and aquatic food. This point I have mentioned that the oxygen produced by the plant is required by not only us, many many oxygen living aerobic organisms like your yeast, then your animals moving about, all those organisms oxygen for their requires oxygen as well as photosynthetic organic molecule for their survival. Okay, for sorry, photosynthesis is the carbon in the organic molecule found in the organisms. Okay, now the high oxygen concentration in the atmosphere is derived directly from the life reactions of the photosynthesis, and prior to the evolution of photosynthesis obtained from grass and photosynthesis. What happens? Paper, cotton, and other important. Okay, I was discussing this one, that high oxygen concentration in the atmosphere is being produced by the oxygen released by the plant. Okay, prior to the evolution of photosynthesis on Earth, the atmosphere was anoxic. The anoxic means devoid of oxygen. So when the plant was not there, the atmosphere was full of carbon dioxide and other gases. Why? Oxygen, which is the plant is the breeder of the oxygen, so oxygen was not there. Then coming to the side products, oxygen, photosynthesis and side products. What happens? Solar energy transform the biomolecules into um, different transformed by photosynthesis source of countless vegetable, animal, and organic side products. So many organic side products are being produced from this process, like vegetable, animal. This all the fruits or the seeds which have been thrown away by the plant is utilized by the animal as the food. Okay. Now, wood is a very important material used as fuel and in many fields, including construction. What happens? So, wood is also a very important source of different type of income, isn't it? And also, it has importance as a fuel also. Okay. Paper, cotton, and other natural fibers consist of cellulose produced centrally by photosynthetic plants. So, paper, notebook, any type of cotton which is being used um, are present as as a byproduct and being utilized in different industries. Okay, wood depends on the energy sheep obtained from the grass and photosynthesis. So, sheep is getting energy from the grass when it is grazing, then that amount is also being slept by the particular places. Okay, so all this type of side products are being produced to form the different type of uh, along with the process of photosynthesis. Now, sites of photosynthesis, where are these photosynthesis occurring? These photosynthesis are occurring mainly in the two organelles. Okay, mainly it occurs in the chloroplast organelles in certain plant. All green plants parts of chloroplast and carry out photosynthesis. So the green part of the plant contains chloroplast and carry out photosynthesis. Okay. Now the leaves have the most chloroplast. The green color comes from the chlorophyll in the chloroplast. The pigments absorb light energy. So what happens? The chlorophyll is a green colored compound, is being produced by the plant, and the plant again it utilizes the chlorophyll to form the food. Okay. Now this chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast of the cells. Now the pigments absorb light energy, so they are responsible for absorbing some light energy from other sources. Then the sites of photosynthesis in more detailing part. See, this is the picture of the chloroplast. Okay, these are picture of the chloroplast. So this is an opened one. Basically, this is a closed. The green layer is enclosed the chloroplast all the time. But for our clarification, we have cross-sectional dimension we have taken. So In that, see three-dimensional model of chloroplast membrane. So this is the structure of chloroplast, and the chloroplast looks like it's very healthy, and the just a minute. Okay, we are talking about this slide. No, what happens? This coin type of a thing is known as granum or stacks of thylakoids, and each stack is known as the thylakoid, and they are stacked together to form the granum. Then the other liquid part is known as the stroma, and the inner membrane and the outer membrane. So it is a double membrane bound organelle. So first of all is the uh, outer membrane, the inner membrane. The inside of it, there are stacks of thylakoids, stacked like a coin stand type of a thing, and this and the other places of the stroma. The chloroplast contains stroma of fluid, then grana, stacks of thylakoids. So the chloroplast mainly contain the stroma, that means the fluid part of the chloroplast, and the bags are known as the grana. Okay. Now they are the thylakoid contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment that captures light for photosynthesis. So this grana mainly contains the size of the chloroplast mainly is the responsible for carrying out photosynthesis. Okay, so because this green color of the chloroplast is responsible for capturing energy from the sun. Okay, now this is more clarification of the sites of photosynthesis. What does this mean? See, the first figure is the part of a tree plant, and it has been uh, enlarged to see that leaf cross section. When we do, we can see that bilayer has been there here, and the stomata is here, and CO2 is being discharged. So what happens? This is a single cell. There is a single chloroplast cell and mesophilic tissue, and from that, when you are isolating each of the chromosome, you can see that it contains thylakoid membranes stacked together in the stroma. Okay, so this is the diagram we have already seen in the last slide. So this is nothing but the enlargement of the chromosome, isn't it? So then this is nothing but the same image, that is scanning electron microscopy image, as we are observing the structure of the chlorophyll. So not chlorophyll, chloroplast. So we need to understand first of all how the structure of the pigment producing organelle is. Okay. Now, why are plants green? You can ask a question, why are plants green, not yellow, green, pink, or any other color? Because there were plant cells of green chloroplast. So the thylakoid membrane, uh, uh, of the chloroplast is impregnated with photosynthetic pigments. So the chloroplast contains, the chlorophyll contains the important uh, component, that is hemoglobin, that is responsible for the membrane is impregnated with photosynthetic pigments. As the thylakoid membrane contains huge amount of photosynthetic pigments like your chlorophyll, so this structure is known is green in color, and this is nothing but a 3D view of the chloroplast. In this, these are the stroma, and the thylakoid bags are there, granum in which the granums are stored, and then the other things are intermembrane space should be there, then inner membrane and the outer membrane should have a gap. Okay, all these things are included in the structure of the chloroplast. Now absorption of chlorophyll. Okay, now chlorophyll is being absorbed by a number of uh, pigments. So in the this is a HPLC run basically. In this we are taking the concentration of the main plant in a separate way. Okay, Absorption of chlorophyll occurs, and this is the graph plotting one side absorbance and this side the color or the wavelength. So as the wavelength increases, the absorbance increases, then sudden drop is there, then again increase in the increase in the number of factors. Okay, now during the fall, the green color pigments are greatly reduced, revealing the other pigments. Carotenoids are pigments that are orange to yellow in color. Okay, so these are the peaks obtained due to the uh, absorbance of the light at different positions, and the uh, uh, so the chlorophyll behaves in such a way that the color changes are visible here. Okay, sometimes they are producing pigments of green color, sometimes uh, they are also producing pigments of orange red color, like the presence of different type of other compounds inside the chlorophyll. So overall, the structure of chlorophyll is very important, and the functions are also very important. So the photosynthesis basically is divided into two phases. There is a light dependent and the light independent stage. Okay, so the light dependent stage consists of two parts: cyclic phosphorylation and non-cyclic phosphorylation. These are two types. Okay, now light dependent reaction takes place in thylakoids. Now light dependent reaction mainly takes place in thylakoids, and then requires light for the production and converts light energy into chemical energy. Then light dependent reaction depends on the end products of light independent of reactions. Okay. So light dependent reaction depends on the end products, ADP and ATP of light dependent reaction. So they are utilizing some energy to produce another main sources of energy, like they convert the light energy into chemical energy, and they also utilizes all the end products like ADP and ATP. ATP are also formed in the form of the production of energy. Okay. Now, what are non-cyclic phosphorylation? Cyclic phosphorylation and non-cyclic phosphorylation. These are two types. Non-cyclic, first of all, I will discuss about the non-cyclic. So, it involves two photosystem. Photosystem, that means which measures the wavelength and tells you what is the composition and all the things. Okay. Now, there are two photosystem. Photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. That is P68 and P700 nanometer. So this photosystem contains chlorophyll A and B as well as accessory pigments. Okay, so they contain chlorophyll A and B as well as accessory pigment. Flow of electrons is non-cyclic. Okay, so they cannot move on to the next step after consumption of any electrons. Okay, uses the photolysis of water. So water is being broken down into hydrogen and electrons. So the end products are reduced in ADP, ATP and O2. So that means at the end of the reaction, in photosynthesis, NADP, ATPs are formed along with the oxygen. Okay. Now, non-cyclic phosphorylation. Non-cyclic phosphorylation is a complex process. It also involves two photosystem. Photosystem 2, that is 680 nanometers. Photosystem 1, that is 700 nanometers. So two types of photosystem are occurring, and they are uh, for, for they form different type of energies, and through different steps they produce the main objective, that is the observation of the main uh, main phases. Okay, so the electrons and hydrogen and oxygen is being formed when hydrolysis of water is occurring, and these electrons are moving through the photosystem 1 and 2, and ultimately NADPH and ultimately reduced NADP is being produced. Okay, so this is all. Now when the change in energy levels occur, then mainly the changes in energy level are also occurring, as well as the uh, oxygen itself. Okay, so this is all about is this I have already explained the non-cyclic, and now I am moving on to the cyclic phosphorylation. It involves only one photosystem 1 and at 700 nanometer end product is ATP. So the difference between non-cyclic and cyclic is that the end products are many, but here the end products are only end products are only ATP, and the only photosystem is are at 700 nanometer. In case of the previous type, that is non-cyclic, there are ATP, NADP, and oxygen are produced. Here only ATPs are produced as the end product, and only one photosystem is involved, that is P700. But in case of the previous one, that is the um, previous example that of non-cyclic phosphorylation is the uh, production of mainly the ATP, and they are formed mainly by the use of two photosystem P680 and P700. But here there are one photosystem only, that is P700. Okay. Now light independent reaction. So this the whole process of the photosynthesis is divided into thylakoids, that is the grana, and also the stacks, that is the mainly the what is being in light dependent reaction. What happens, stroma of the chloroplast is responsible for the reactions. Okay, the light reactions require stroma of the chloroplast, no light required but need the end product. Okay, reduced NADP and ATP are being produced as the end product and simple sugars. Need an enzyme Rubisco and carbon dioxide. Okay, so for the light independent reaction, what happens? You also need an enzyme, that is Rubisco. Okay. Now this is a complex process of your Kelvin cycle, and I'm just briefing what is happening in the Kelvin cycle. It is a cyclic process where ATP is being utilized and ADP is being formed, and electron transfer chain is occurring, and which the mutual changes in the electron lead to the production of energy. So these are the different type of compounds known. There are many intermediate compounds which are not mentioned here. Otherwise, the your study will be more complicated. So these are ultimately unstable 6C compound which will form NADP, and NADP are reduced, and then 3-phosphoglycerate is converted to your trioxyl phosphate. Okay, so glucose, amino acids, and lipids are being formed in as the side product. Okay, so this is all about the Calvin cycle, and it involves the formation of ADP. Okay. Now, factors affecting photosynthesis. There are different type of factors actually which is affecting the photosynthesis. Okay, and nowadays due to pollution and all, the photosynthesis cannot occur alone. So they require some factors to be controlled. Okay, the rate of photosynthesis is defined in terms of the rate of oxygen production per unit mass of green plant. Okay, so the efficiency mainly depends upon a table when at which time you are producing different type of energies. Okay, so coming to the factors, the first factor being the main factors are light intensity. So when the light intensity changes, then your everything gets changed. Okay, what happens then? Wavelength, then carbon dioxide concentration, temperature, water supply, phosphorylation, then chlorophyll concentration, placenta, all these type of varieties are being seen. These are the factors which is responsible for the photosynthesis. Now, coming to each of the factors separately, lighting one. First of all, is the light intensity. Actually, basically, the factors on which photosynthesis depends are many. First factor is the grand. The first factor which involves the production of oxygen. Okay, so there are four products mainly. The rate of photosynthesis will go up as intensity is increased. So, because the more light a plant absorbs, the more synthesis will occur, and it will also disturb the sleep. Okay. Then, because the more light is absorbed, the more photosynthesis can occur, which lead to the production of more ATP. So, again, however, very high intensity slows down the rate as it bleaches the chlorophyll. Okay, now normal sunlight is quite sufficient for the normal rate of photosynthesis. So, if a small amount of intensity slows down as it reaches the bleach of chlorophyll. That means the saturation stage has been reached when you are eating the particular type of processes. Okay, normal sunlight is quite sufficient for the normal rate of photosynthesis. That means uh, not so fast process, but a process where the sunlight is being utilized fully is known as the no, sunlight is being utilized fully to produce different type of products is known as the normal rate of photosynthesis. Okay, now the second important factor is the wavelength. Okay, so the wavelength is mainly responsible because depending upon the wavelength, the color also changes, and the color also affects the overall growth and importance of the photosynthesis. So, different type of colors affect how much photosynthesis will occur. Because only certain colors are absorbed, the more color will be, that is, the more light can that is absorbed. Okay, so which will lead to more photosynthesis and eventually more ATP. Okay, photosynthesis is dependent on the absorption of light by pigments. Chlorophyll A and B pigment you can see in the graph. Now carbon dioxide concentration is also very important for the photosynthesis to occur. As carbon dioxide concentration rise, the rate at which sugars are made by the light dependent reaction increases. Okay, so as the light reaction occurs through the formation of the different type of glucose, that also increases when CO2 increases. In atmosphere, the concentration of US carbon dioxide range from zero point 0.3 to zero point 0.4. It is known to us 0.03. So it is found that 0.1% of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases the rate of, so as in the atmosphere increases the rate of photosynthesis significantly. This is done in greenhouse where plants are grown under controlled condition containing CO2. Okay, so the carbon dioxide are also used supplied in the greenhouse gases uh, as an important requirement. So these are the different type of factors. This is the carbon dioxide concentration, how they are changing. This is the temperature, because at high temperature, high temperatures are high, plants are highly affected. You can know where there are less rainfall, the nature of the plant totally changes. Now the temperature in this way they vary with concentration of the food, rate of photosynthesis. Water supply is also very important because it's one of the important factor for your growth. Okay, so lack of water not only cause the plant to wilt but also limits the quantity of carbon dioxide. So water supply is very efficient, should be very efficient. This happens as when the leaves are dry, they close the stomata. Okay, now chlorophyll concentration is also very important. How? If the chlorophyll concentration changes, it will also change the rate of absorption. The concentration of chlorophyll affects the rate of reaction that absorb the light energy needed for the reactions. Okay, lack of chlorophyll or deficiency of chlorophyll results. So the chlorophyll are less, and this deficiency will also lead to effect to different factors. It can occur due to disease, mineral deficiency, or the natural process of aging. So uh, the main problem, the importance of chlorophyll lies in the trapping of the sun energy. Lack of iron, magnesium, nitrogen in light and light affect the formation of chlorophyll and thereby cause chlorosis. Okay, so when there is a dearth of chlorophyll production, chlorosis occurs, and the presence of different uh, metals are also required. Pollution is also very much controlled by the plant. You all know about it. It is responsible for controlling different type of pollution. Then this is the last topic for today's lecture, artificial photosynthesis. This is not that much important. Here you are creating that atmosphere like that of the outside and providing the requisite amount of oxygen and all. So in the artificial photosynthesis can also be done. Okay, so concluding, all plants and animals are dependent on the sun for energy, and then the energy is made available to them by the process of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is required to develop food, and after all the main function of our life. So with this our photosynthesis discussion about the photosynthesis ends. Okay,